Welcome viewers back to Heart of the Machine, where we are struggling in the stealth timeline, trying to figure out how to progress. Right now we're going to talk to the AGI researchers, and we're going to decline their request to study the inner workings of our mind. But we're going to offer them telecom data. We know that SPA Telecom was able to detect our movements in the city feed. We could acquire that data and give it to them. We've never done this before, so we're going to steal telecom data. You know that SPA Telecom was able to detect your movements. You're a bit curious as to what the results will be too. We could sneak in, or we could send a hacker. Sneak in is use stealth units to get in and acquire what we need. We may need to directly do some hacking to prevent them from getting caught. That'll give us a martial expansion and some Android optimization. And we'll need to gather 200,000 decrypted SPA Telecom logs. Optionally, we could send a hacker, which sounds like the same thing. Use a hacker unit to get what you need. You will not need to directly do any hacking yourself, but you should be prepared to physically defend your hacker. Data centers at military bases are going to be extremely hard targets. Look for ones without a bunch of mechs guarding them. Vehicular development, small arms research, determinism. Wisdom or determinism? Yeah, let's sneak in. Kind of confused, but we'll do it. Investigation started, sneak in. So we're going to split our attention between this investigation and clearing the ladder, which is a murder. It looks like we will need a agility 85 investigator and stealth. So if we look at who our highest agility is, currently it's the PMC imposter, which is sort of surprising. But highest possible from is Keanu. Keanu doesn't really compare that favorably to the PMC otherwise, except for PMC is 12 capacity, whereas a Keanu is only 8. And we actually have the capacity, I think, for that. Yeah, we have 10. Let's make a Keanu and send it down that way. Keanu, maybe we want to give you... Can we give you MILF-style armor? We're going to give you stuff to make your hacking and stealth better. So maybe that's more agility. More armor. Security jacket doesn't really give you anything. You are a Shadowdweller, so you're not in need of blending in. And then for your augments, we want to improve your agility. Nothing else, so we will give you lightweight components. I don't think there were any other requirements, but probably worth checking before I go and make that assignment. Sneak in. Doesn't really say. I have a feeling that we're going to want anti-hackers here rather than predators. So this is potentially a problem that we want to put off until we decide that we're done with these murders. At any rate, we're out of mental energy, so we can't do this turn. So we might as well park the camera here, close the windows, and watch this Keanu as this large economic transport flies past. I guess it's gonna fly the other way actually, so let's watch it from this direction. Turn 56. course, it's a letdown and it doesn't even move. Okay, Predators, I want you to just start killing people. Let's take this seriously this time. We are just horrifying these guys at least. But that does give us some immediate reprisals. Let's turn off the investigation for now. See what we've got. Two enemy attacks. One of them is a large group of 44 Vorsaber soldiers, which Horrify attack does nothing to. And the other one is a Nebo Investments Nickelbot. Let's shoot at the Vorsaber. Nebo Investment Vorsaber soldiers. Here in response to your actions, fully aware that it was you and with instructions to retaliate. We do end up suppressing that guy, so he can't shoot us. That's good. And then we have a... I'm surprised this guy can still shoot us, given that he's suppressed. Then we have a chance here to take you out as well. Okay, that's all of the attacks that we're gonna do there. Maybe we'll spend one... Ooh. There's more Nickelbots coming. Maybe we'll spend one more point. 1 or 2 more points to finish the job. And then let's just start bringing the Keanu over here. We know that we know that he's going to be necessary in this area. Just not sure what he's going to be necessary for. Alright, with our final mental energy, we probably could have done a little better at structural engineering. Out of range. I guess we're just going to move you closer. And that's it, turn 56. Let's take a look at the real action over here. Maybe we'll get some long distance views as these guys get evaporated. Oh good, nothing hit. We do have 2 more enemy attacks planned. It looks like those Nickelbots found us. That's Keanu's damage on a Nickelbot look. 43 at 2 times ambush bonus. So even with the ambush bonus, you're doing terrible damage. Did we give you weapons? No, we didn't. I guess I forgot to actually click the button. Right, we were going to give you agility-based stuff. So agility handguns and lightweight components for even more agility. Pretty sure agility has no effect on combat. Yeah, it looks like it. Just makes it so it's harder for hackers to get you while you're doing an investigation. These guys are pretty lightweight. I think we can take them. And do we dare start the investigation? Yeah, let's do it. That's Keanu. You're going to sneak into this data center here. Is that a good one? I did say try one where there's no mechs around. There's some mechs there, there's some mechs there. I think that was on the other task, though not on this one. Not sure it matters. Like, I don't think the mechs are going to be fighting us. I think they're going to send hackers and we're going to have to bring in an anti-hacker to destroy them or die. Yep. Alright, let's try it here. Sneak in. 6 turns. Immediately a hacker appears. This hacker. 2 enemy attacks planned also. Where are you attacking? You're attacking there. Unfortunately, I can't just destroy you. Because I think that'll end the Keanu. Let's just do it just to test, but I'm pretty sure taking these guys out is bad. Hackers after your infiltrators. Indeed, be very careful. Enemy hackers will absolutely wreck your infiltrators if you don't do something. In many cases, these enemy hackers only hurt your unit more when you physically damage them or kill them. Viable strategies include using ravens to inflict status effects, using harbingers, which we've never heard of, or other units with the weaken enemy hacker feat, or using mine runners to sysop for the infiltrators. Left or right click to cycle enemy hackers. Okay, so there's 2 hackers here. We do know that if we had mind runners here, or a mind runner and a mind runner and a raven, that we could just suppress these by eliminating their hacking skill. That's probably the right call, is to eliminate the Predator N42. And then let's bring in some hackers. Do we need a mine runner? I guess what we should look at is what their loadout gives them. We'd want weaken enemy hacker through PPC-7 handgun. It's the only option for Raven. Mine runner has the same option, nothing else. So that's really the only option. We could also try hacking them. I think they have to be robots for that. Maybe apply network shield could help. I don't think there's anything other than just the PPC-7 handgun that we'd be using, and I think Keanu's also have that, right? They do, but we can't change to it. We also have the Imposter here. Imposter, though, is out of the question just because it takes 12 capacity. And if we got rid of that Predator, we don't have that much capacity. Ravens are actually more expensive than mine runners, which is bizarre. And we don't have enough Neuroweave for 2 right now. Oof. They both take 3 mental energy. They're pretty much identical, except for their skill set and attack range. So let's bring a mine runner and experiment with their skills. So a mind runner could get over here. Too far. Damn. Wait. Not too far. We just didn't select you. Yeah, so if we get that close, we're out of moves this turn. We can get to here and have 1 move left. So if we do use you, currently you have no equipment. We will give you the PP7 that lets you weaken enemy hackers, which is like, we'd have to use 8 actions with 2 of these guys really to take these guys, make these guys fully weak. Although I think we experimented with getting them down to just 50% and it was enough. We do have pretty high agility on that Keanu in there. They're going to wear diamond nanoweave thread. They're going to be augmented with what? With better range, really. It's the only real option. Yeah, I don't think combat power matters for this special ability. So, and I don't think any of this helps them in any way. Maybe just range. Range and more range. That lets me keep them pretty far away. And I will use 1 move to zap one of them with a 0% attack that does a special ability of hacker weakened for 1 turn 25%. These guys have hacking skill of 567 and 518. They're going to absolutely destroy this Keanu. Keanu here the only thing Keanu has going for it is 210 agility. So I think we'd have to get down below 75 or use... I think we'd have to hit them 3 times with that special ability for it to do anything. Let's watch as they try to locate the Keanu. Maybe he'll escape. Turn 58. Well, that was anticlimactic again. They didn't do anything. Can we make another... Can we make a Raven? Yes, we have enough neuroweave to make one more. I guess this time we'll make a Raven. Raven's coming in, I guess the same, roughly the same location. Let's try to do it in 2 moves, not 3. We'll give you a range bonus as well with your abilities. Two range bonuses. And then we're just going to exchange some fire with these guys to get them to 50% skill. And then checking our Keanu. Keanu didn't take any damage, so yeah, I'm not really sure how that works still. There's just hasn't really ever been a way to do anything about it. Let's see, infiltration sysop. We could try this. Not gonna. We don't have the mental energy. Apply network shield takes 4 mental energy. Damage negation from net control skill 124. Yeah, just not clear exactly what this does. This interferes with the computer-assisted targeting capabilities of enemies. So I think it's just an actual armor. Like an armor bonus, basically. Network-assisted targeting will increase attack power. Oh, wow. So if you have one of these guys around and you're willing to spend 4 mental energy for this, you can increase everybody else's attack power. That's kind of cool. But it's so expensive. And we can't hack with that. But you have a repair and a hack ability, both of which are very expensive. And then Predator, you're just gonna hang tight. Meanwhile, back at base, let's make another stealth large wind generator. I like these things because they don't cost anything except for some micro builders. We can build it there. We can have the tech bring it up. And that's enough for turn 57. Let's see where the action is. Those SecForce hackers, let's see if they do anything this turn. That one's like actually embedded inside the building, which is unusual. Also interested in this giant Arecibo antenna they've got here. That's cool. Alright, 5 turns left on this investigation, infiltration. Still clearing the ladder. Yeah, nothing else. Oh! Right, we were going to check on this. We are accumulating scientific research, and we can spend inspiration points even though we technically don't have anybody in VR. That's interesting. We could start spending points on small arms research, martial expansion, gun research, melee research, android optimization, item development. Of all of these, I think the only one that makes sense is martial expansion to try to increase our android cap, or more small arms research to make our weapons better. There's no real like improve hacking. Broad improvements to guns used by androids is another option. What's the difference between small arms research and gun research? Gun research is very similar to small arms research. Maybe it's limited to just the gun types. And that was really all we could do. Martial expansion, maybe. Max mechs capacity. Small mechs, avionics cores. We do need more avionics cores to be able to make good vehicles. So I guess that's a good shout. Otherwise, yeah, not much came out of that. We'll check back there in a few turns. Turn 58 is over. With that avionics core, though, can we? Yeah, we can make another aerospace hangar. Let's do it. That will give us an option to start having a mobile gunship like we did at the end of Timeline 1. Although, it's going to be a while before we have a crew that can fill it. Okay, turn 59, we're all set to watch it. Slumcats completed. It took a very long time indeed, but this is a case where your spider drones were helpful. They were able to gather small rodents to entice the cats and also served as excellent pounce targets. Most of the cats are still wary of you even after all this time. Only one of them follows you around consistently. Now that your Nickelbot is ready to leave, it seems the cat wants to go with it. We will adopt the cat. We're not going to kill the cat. As expected, the cat follows your Nickelbot away from the slum towers. Time to build it a little house. You also realized what interested you about these creatures in the first place, their symbiotic relationship with humans. You probably need to achieve some level of symbiosis with at least some humans, so that seemed interesting to your subconscious. We immediately adopted a cat, and a new research domain inspiration for android optimization. Plus a pet cat. That should give us an upgrade for android optimization. Ooh, port droid cognition. That could give us what we need. That does give us senior technician cognition. I think we actually needed engineering though, not cognition. But that's literally the best thing here, so let's do it. And we also want to consider making a cat house. Yeah, let's do it. Cat house. We never made this in Timeline 1 because we assumed that the animal palace was good enough, but I did see an achievement somewhere that said, like, making a cat house for your single cat was something. So we'll do that. We'll put it right here, right next to our tower base. And there we go. We already have a cat on it. It's Mittens. It followed your Nickelbot home and is now friendly with all of your androids. Your cat chases vermin, relaxes, and generally lives its best life. That's awesome. Alright, meanwhile, we are going to keep harassing these things, although it actually didn't do any damage to our Keanu, so maybe he has enough agility that, like, this just isn't a thing. 210 agility. These guys with Heckbreaker 16. Targets with less than 150 hacking skill have a far smaller bonus. Yeah, I don't understand what this is telling us. It's weaponizing the target's own hacking skill against them. So because he has no hacking skill, maybe because he has no hacking skill, they're just like not capable of doing anything to him, so it's... I got lucky and picked the right one? Let's leave it be and not attack these guys this turn, just to see what the outcome is then. And we'll just spend our points here on this large wind generator and this aerospace hangar. There we go. 3 points left. We could now possibly look at making a vehicle. Yeah, no neuroweave, but we have the capacity, and we should be able to make enough morphologic lattice now to make any ship we want. Great. Another thing that we could consider doing is, so far we used surgical robotics, surgical suite, to get the surgical suite buildings up. We could use lab operators here to get the rest. We are slowly building Illumina, so it might make sense to work through these one at a time. I think neuroscience lab's probably the one to go with first. And hopefully we can make these over here in a cluster with the rest of the science buildings. Do we have anybody who can go work on that? Nope, we certainly don't. Do we have capacity? No, we only have 2 points of capacity. What about making another delivery craft? Is that worth doing? Or a bastion? That's a lot of lattice to make a bastion. I think no is the answer. Let's leave the delivery craft alone, and we'll just make a troop ship eventually, if we can. If we survive that long. That is an interesting wealthy citizen. Why does this guy have a strange lock above him? I guess it's just the action he's doing, going inside the mixed-use skyscraper. Versus these other ones that have like a arrow, double arrow on them, are heading to the officer lab. Yeah, I think that must be showing their action. All the rest are just heading home or to the office. So I don't know if this one is any more interesting than the rest. He is team leaders. They're all team leaders. It's just kind of interesting that it has a different icon. 3 more mental energy. I think we're just going to let it slide and check out turn 60. Before we do that, deaths in the black market is approaching fast. 12 turns to go. We haven't even seen any black market in this world, in this timeline. Except for in the very beginning. I'm pretty sure we scared them off. Turn 60. 3 turns to go. Keanu's just not taking any damage. So, feels like these guys were superfluous. We could have used predators and just been murdering people all along. How confident am I in that? Not particularly. But we're gonna give it a test. And I think we're gonna trade up for a predator here. That's 16 capacity. We have 2, so we need 14, so I think we'd have to destroy both of these. Do we even have the neuroweave for that? We just barely have the neuroweave for that. An alternative to destroying both of them would be to destroy this Nickelbot. Nickelbot is not very much though. That's only 6. That'll bring us to 8. And then we could get rid of just one of these and have enough. Yeah, let's do that. We will kill off our Nickelbot pal who helped the cats. And I think we'll kill off the Mind Runner. Yeah, Raven's just a better hacker. Raven's more of an all-around. The Mind Runner seems like to be like a support unit. Does have way better security clearance. Interesting. I wonder, does that mean that you can do these street sense things for us? What if we went to project related here? Yes, it does. We could just send you. Okay, well, the only problem is that that gives you an engineering skill, but we don't really need cognition or engineering skill on mind runners. Gains. Oh, I've been reading this wrong. Entirely wrong. This is gain CPUs. So anyone using CPUs gets extra engineering skill. I've been reading that as we have to send a soul droid or technician there, but no, it says soul droid or technicians will gain from this. So yes, the answer here is to use a mind runner. And we're immediately going to go study mesoporous nanoparticles. Great. So what that did is, if we look at technician now, who has additional CPUs, they're now giving you 80, and you have enough engineering skill to do the contemplation that I was wondering about. All right, we can go get the shell contemplation here. Protection required. Criminal syndicate gangs and even federated corporations may be inclined to harass your shell company, and there's nothing your regular units can do about it without blowing your cover. Senior technician can't do this alone. You should design at least a pair of new units, and they should not have any apparent connection to your main identity. Great, so that unlocks for us the new shell. It doesn't, unless they appear in bulk. Huh. What? Oh, we have to design it with design points. I see. Okay, so that's interesting. So that is more project-related street sense. And to get those design points... Yeah, okay, so protection required. These will give us a different set of bonuses for doing these. Oh, but yeah, I'm so happy that I finally figured out this thing for the studies. Oh, look at that, and it tells me if I go there he's gonna die. Great. Probably because it's a L5 clearance. Okay, we can go out here and get soldier or technician bonus, but I think what we want to look for are ones that give us the bonus for the... I wish I could change which project. Yeah, the bonus we're looking for are the ones that attach to CPU, because the CPU bonus can apply to Nickelbots. We can give Nickelbots additional CPUs. Like this one here. Okay, here's one. Nobody takes damage. We can do this twice more. We'll do it. Or I would like to do it, but it won't let me move there. I guess we have to do it in 2 stages. Oh, that's because it's 5 mental energy to get over there, you crazy person. Can we give you better speed? Right now you've just got range. We don't care about range. Let's give you better movement speed, which is the handgun you've got also does that. So yeah, let's do this. That is going to get you out there in only 4 mental energy. Excellent. CPU bonus there. So we do want a Nickelbot, it turns out, because now that we have the ability to enhance CPUs, we can send a Nickelbot to do... Nickelbots are the worst, because they really are. So we do have 1 more mental energy. That's just enough to deploy a Nickelbot and get him moved out there. Nickelbot, we can actually drop you way out here. And then we can adjust you to have better CPUs. And that brings you up to 120, not quite enough. Damn, okay. Anything else we can do? No. Nickelbots need 140 engineering skills, so we need 20. I think we can do that one more time. If one exists. There it is. Study of mesoporous nanoparticles. I bet we can do that with this guy even. Nope, you need a security clearance. That's right. Can this Raven do it? Could, but it would take 3 mental energy to get there. So I think what we're going to do is just have the Raven stay there just in case, and we'll have you slowly walk back that way. Hold on. Close up of Mine Runner looking like doing the crane kick from Karate Kid. Mine Runner, why can't you move? There you go. Alright, that was turn 60. I think that was actually the most significant progress I've made in Timeline 2, finally realizing how to get through the security clearance. Turns out, Mine Runners, they have really high security clearance. I guess because they're invisible? Expert Shadowdwellers. This unit is able to hide in the shadows and go undetected by enemies when it is at a building. Unless it attacks, it can move freely up to clearance level 4. This provides no protection when not at a building. Okay, so yeah, that is the answer. Gadolinium Mesosilicate. Suddenly we are making huge progress. And that's going to be the end of the episode. Thanks so much for watching. We have a whole bunch of projects in progress now. Maybe we don't have to kill all those wealthy commuters after all, but you know, once I got a taste of blood, not sure I can give it up. Let's see what happens next time. Thanks so much again. And thank you more for remembering to click that like button. Hey, leave a comment or subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you next time. Until then, this has been Corknut playing Heart of the Machine. Take care.